Welcome back to the 2020 Toyota U.S. Figure Skating Championships, where we just saw the dance event, where Madison Chock and Evan Bates won their second U.S. national title. They really seem to like Greensboro Coliseum. The last time they won the national championships was in 2015, right in the same building where they tonight win their second title, followed closely by Hubbell and Donahue and Hawayek and Baker. Welcome to the Ice Desk. I'm Michael Weiss, and alongside Mariah Nagasu, Brooke Castile, and Ben Augusto. Ben, this is the moment you've been waiting for.
We've all been waiting for.
The ice dance. Did it live up to everything?
It was thrilling. I am ecstatic. I mean, what a great competition we saw. Thrills and spills and ups and downs, emotion. It was jam-packed with extremely difficult content, incredible lifts, incredible moves, beautiful programs and emotion. But yeah, Madison Chock and Evan Bates coming out on top, as we felt like they might after this incredible season they've had. A lot of momentum coming into this competition, getting ahead of their training mates, Hubbell and Donahue. And Mike,
I think we
called it.
felt like it. That's what we felt like. We all came up with the same prediction. We got it right. They came through for us.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, right from the beginning, you can tell that this program is something special. It's something unique. We haven't seen anybody do anything like this, and especially for them, it's a big change in their style, and every detail was so beautifully crafted. From the opening sequence where she spends so much time all on one foot and right into this first lift. I mean, it's clear she's the snake, he's the charmer, and all of their elements were executed.
That lift was sensational.
So much speed of rotation. Execution was so confident. And then here into their choreographic step sequence, you can see the joy that they bring every time they skate that they are known for, and in the past has maybe overcome them and given them some trouble, but they have reined it in. And just a stellar performance tonight.
Have you ever seen a free dance with that much attention to detail before?
Well,
not since Ben Augusto and Tanner Belton have I seen that.
For once, I agree with Michael Weiss,
right?
ladies and gentlemen. Those Elvis bell bottoms.
Yeah.
I mean, it really stands in a very high class of programs.
I mean,
and
the focus and concentration you have to be able to get every detail like that so specific and perfect is crazy.
Well, you can tell how much they love the choreography,
Yeah.
and how much they relate to the concept, and they feel the music, and they've taken it upon themselves to just make every moment be absolutely perfect.
I also feel like every time I see them do this free dance, she morphs even more into a snake. Like, just even the way she comes out of the lifts, it's like she's slithering down his body. It's so unique. It's so different. It's very, very cool. And she just pulls off that look so beautifully.
And I know Mariah, Hubbell, and Donahue, you and I really enjoyed their free dance. What did you think about that?
I watched it in the arena. I actually was told, you have to come back to the ice desk, because I was enjoying their performance so much. And they skated with so much speed that I was a little bit afraid. I was like, Zach, slow it down, because I would never go into a triple that fast. And so there's something to be said about watching it live and watching that power, and their lifts were really cool. I mean, that lift right there, I don't even know how it happened.
Now look at the speed of that rotation. He goes on one foot for 2 revolutions at the end to get a difficult feature. And yeah, they fly into their twizzle sequence. It's breathtaking and terrifying, because we've seen Zach launch himself into a failed inside axle at times. And but yeah, it came out beautifully. They scored extremely high on their step sequence, level 4. It's so hard to achieve. They got called for a level 3 on their curve lift, which is a little unusual for them. But, you know, just again, we talked about how this program doesn't quite get me. It doesn't bring me in. Actually, the beginning is excellent. Like, that first section really is powerful, and then it's a little hard to stay with, but it's much improved over the Grand Prix series, I will say that.
I agree with you, because I think when we watched it early on in the season, I felt like there was missing something. They were skating it with a little bit of reservation. Tonight, though, I actually didn't feel that way. I felt like they skated it with like reckless abandon. Like they weren't holding back at all because they knew this was such a tight race for the national title. And as we said beforehand, it was kind of trending towards Chock and Bates. So they couldn't skate with any apprehension. And I felt that tonight. I felt like this program, for me anyway, has improved as the season goes on.
Yeah, they had nothing to lose. It was do or die, and they did. And that was, I think, the best they could. They did not die. That's the best they could have skated. It was a spectacular performance as well.
And then the bronze medal going to Caitlin Hawayek and John-Luke Baker, who skated their free dance as well. What did you think of that?
Well, yeah, this was kind of, we had these two major battles, right? There was the battle for first and second, and then there was a brewing battle for third between Hawayek and Baker and Carrera-Ponomarenko, who have been kind of clawing at their heels. But, I mean, we saw an amazing performance from Carrera-Ponomarenko, and then Hawayek and Baker skating last after Chock and Bates, really throwing down a powerful performance. They, they capture these kind of avant-garde characters of Marie Antoinette and her lower class suitor, and they really brought that to life for us. And it's exciting. They bring this passion. Like, look at them here in their character step sequence, just going for it, bringing a little bit of that humor that they are so good at. And all of their elements were powerful, strong. I think he had a little problem on his spin. He put a foot down as they were changing sides, and they dropped down to a level 2 on that spin, which definitely will.
They've struggled with
they don't
this
want to do that.
free dance a little bit all through the Grand Prix season. I think what's missing a little bit is, like what you said, a little bit of that humor at the end that they brought. I wish there was a little bit more of that throughout the program, and I think it would elevate it just a little bit more so that they had a bit of a better result all year. But that's the most I've enjoyed that program so far this season. And
I think it's because we were, talking about it and really experiencing it.
It's because I got to experience it next to you, Ben.
Well,
we actually understood what was going on.
Yeah, Ben
the
kind
level
of gave
2,
us the.
I had no clue. I was like, that was great. And when you said
what mistake.
Yeah, exactly. I don't quite understand all the bullet points, and so to have an expert next to me and to tell me what was going on was really helpful.
I'm glad to hear that, and I think that's a real issue. Ice dance, we watch these teams, they all look amazing. They all go out there, they perform their hearts out, they have incredible speed and passion, and their elements look beautifully done, but there's such nuanced detail to differentiate between a level 2, a level 3, and a level 4, and those are big points that are on the line. And so I think sometimes it's hard. You look at it, you're like, well, nobody fell.
Right.
That looked great. Why were they so much lower? So yeah, it's hard to follow it sometimes. But unfortunately, we did see some falls, and
a lot of them actually.
Maybe
a lot
more
of
than
mistakes.
in the pairs event, which is unusual. But I think that just goes to show the difficulty of what these teams are attempting to do, the way that they have to attack everything. You can't just mark it and play it safe. It doesn't work. So it's great to see them all trying.
And in fourth place were Carrera and Ponomarenko. I know you really liked their flamenco piece. And Brooke, you specifically were very intrigued by Anthony's performance. Were you not?
A specific movement.
I was. The split at the end at that choreographed dance, I went, woo! Come on, give me more of that. It was great. He even yelled out. And
I'm always a fan when there's passion and excitement like that and the music's a little quiet and a guy yells. I love that.
yeah, I mean, he really saved it all
awesome.
for the end, too. Like, at that ending, he just completely came alive, and it really... The ending of this program was so strong. It was so fun to watch. I am beet red right now for you calling me out.
Well, if you want to make it worse, I really think what you actually said was...
Mama likes.
Mama likey, I think you actually said when you did the splits.
I am 6 months pregnant, so come on.
Here it comes.
Brooke.
Ready?
Woo! Look at him. Look at his face. I mean, like, I love that. He reminds me of Nikita Katsalap. I can never say his last name.
Katsalapov.
Yes, he kind of gives that same energy to his
They
programs.
go for it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thing. We talk about going for it. There's maybe nobody in the world who goes for it like these two can. These two can when they really do, and they did tonight. Sometimes you see them on practice and they just blow the roof off the joint, and this was almost that level. But it's that excitement.
What do they need to do to be able to blow their socks off in competition? If they're doing it in practice already and it's there and they have it, what does it take now to take it to the next level in competition?
It's confidence. It's confidence that they have nothing to lose by doing that. I think they're always worried about making the mistake because they have in the past. They've gone for it and then they've made the error, but you never learn how far you can go unless you're willing to go too far. And
kind of like
they're
Mariah
getting
Bell
closer, like
in
Mariah Bell,
in the
right?
short, yeah.
Full pony whip bracket, down she goes. I mean, she's finding that limit of how far she can push herself, and that's the only way to get better.
But if they do, will they be able to beat Hawayek and Baker? Or
potentially. So then there's the other side of it is they need to be super clean, and this is where it's like you're literally skating on a razor's edge because they have to go for it. You can't just play it safe because then it's boring and nobody's inspired. So they have to go for it like crazy, but then they can't mess up any of their edges. So learning how to go for it while maintaining that extremely clean skate is so difficult.
Well, and that's what's so difficult about ice dance that I don't think people understand is that you are constantly trying to push the limits on both sides of it, and you have to in order to be at the top, and that is so difficult to do. As we saw some mistakes, people who were really like Parsons and Green, who were really going for it, had an amazing skate, and then right at the end made that big mistake because they pushed that edge a little too far.
Yeah.
And it's just time, experience, and talent that eventually you get there.
And 6 months skating together, that's incredible. That's the only issue. I mean, they had a great skate in the rhythm dance and an amazing free dance. I think it's maybe one of the best free dance I've seen come out of that camp. The choreography is interesting and innovative, and they are just fresh, and you can see how much they're loving skating together. It's brilliant. I can't wait to see them next season.
They actually made history tonight because they made Michael Weiss love ice dance. Is that word too strong to use?
That is quite a challenge.
Then it goes to Tanith Belvin.
except Ben and Tanith, of course. But no, you guys stole my thunder because I agree with that. I think Caroline Green and Michael Parsons were, as you said, I saw them at Skate America when they just started skating together. And they were fresh, and I was like
3 weeks before.
They're good. It's like that potential thing. But tonight, I was like completely captivated. Even though they made that mistake late in the program, I loved the way they were performing. I think, we use the word potential so much, but I really think like this team, only skating together for a short period of time, has a ton of potential. I love the way they skated. It sounds like a cop-out when you're like, oh, I really like their outfits. I actually really liked their outfits.
I mean, that's going in the montage next year for
I also went pretty
national.
crazy at this moment of the night, too.
Yeah, and right here,
These ice dance guys and their camera work, man.
I think Brooke has been
a good
away
example.
from home way too long.
I'm married to an ice dancer, okay? I like ice dancers.
There it is. Okay, so loss of balance. An incredible save, really. I mean, that really should have been both of them sliding on their butts across the ice and managing to save it, but just one moment of touching down and putting too much weight on that hand, showing a clear loss of control and suffering the 1-point deduction for a fall. But a good, an amazing outing here.
I think if this is what they give us, right off the bat in their first season together, I have a feeling they're going to be right up in the mix next year and then leading into the Olympics.
Yes, there's going to be much more pressure on the podium next season because of them, because of Carrera and Ponomarenko. And, I mean, we had a really disappointing performance tonight for McNamara and Carpenter. Really unfortunate fall. I mean, they were skating well. I mean, he looked a little bobbly in a couple of places, but they were recovering, and then just a little back on the blade.
Yeah.
He went down, she went down on top of him, and just things happen like that. And
3-point deduction just from that one fall for
2
2
points
falls.
there, yeah.
But
2
they had
falls.
a 3-point deduction.
And then they may have had another. Usually, it's an extended lift that gets.
That's something
the
I
lifts
don't
are only allowed to
understand.
be 7 seconds long, and if you are trying to do the difficult entrance, the change of position, hold your position for 3 seconds, then move on, and then difficult exit, it has to be under 7 seconds.
And
if
you
it goes
cannot wear
over,
an
it's a 1
Apple
point.
Watch that's timing you, and you can't look at it while you're doing it. It's
No,
all
your
in your
Fitbit
head while
can't
you're
be
trying to
going.
do 100 things at once.
Yeah.
Ice dance not so easy.
So
Figure skating not so easy.
It isn't. Turns out it's not easy.
Hard to
turns out
understand,
ice is
too.
slippery.
It is. That's 2 things I've learned about figure skating, that ice is very slippery, anything can happen, and that icy hot in a dance belt hurts, not only in one performance, but many performances later.
To follow.
I did learn that.
The gift that keeps
Interesting
giving.
Side note, it is. So we have the world team has not been officially selected, but most likely, I got her the giggles again. She's done for the night.
That was something I never really wanted to imagine, so thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm the gift that keeps on giving. You're welcome. Much like the scenario I just explained.
The aforementioned scenario.
So the world team's not official for ice dancing, but it looks like the top 3, Madison Chock, Evan Bates, Hubbell and Donahue and Caitlin Hawayek and John-Luke Baker will be that world team. So thinking a little bit ahead to the World Championships, how do you think they'll fare in the international scene in Montreal at the World Championships?
Well, it's a Montreal podium. I mean, their school is cleaning up. They're doing incredible work. It's amazing to see how many variations of all these. I mean, the rules are the rules, and they're able to create these interesting, intricate, fresh, and exciting programs, and the quality is incredible. So it'll be so thrilling for them to be performing at their home now, where they all live and train.
Let me ask you that. Have you guys ever been in a big event like that where a national championships or a world championships are a home?
Close enough where you can drive?
Yeah, you can sleep in your own bed?
Absolutely not.
No,
Never,
that's
ever.
awesome.
That would be a dream.
That would be pretty cool.
I think that's some sort of advantage right there. You don't have to travel.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's take a look at the podium for the final of Madison Chock and Evan Bates win their second U.S. national title.
Just the most basic thing I've ever said, but the way that they package themselves and the costumes, all of it put together, I only have one look for my hair. It's the bun, and so that detail is everything for me.
That is true. They get judged specifically on everything in ice dancing, including their costumes and
Level
their hair.
4 hair.
Level 4 hair. Agreed. So let's take a look at schedule for tomorrow, where we have already crowned the champions in dance, in pairs, and in ladies, and then it is the men tomorrow. We'll start with the ice desk right here in the Greensboro Coliseum, and then the men will skate, and then we will finish it up with an ice desk again, following the men's again, and wrapping up this championship. The 2020 Toyota U.S. Figure Skating Championships. From all of us here at the ice desk, we thank you. Have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow.